Hello. I'm sorry, Luna. The boss is here watching me, so I caught me reading on the job already. But isn't that also part of the job? I don't know. Anyway, welcome to Dragonmount, guys, for another rewatch. As you can see, my lovely co-host Crystal is not here again. She still has the plagues, so she may join us in chat. If not, go over and go to her social media, which you can find all over Dragonmount.com's website, and wish her well-being and not to get sick from her disease factory of a school that she works in again. But joining us tonight is our boss, the lovely Luna. He's got his own little camera tonight. Let's make sure we can see his little sleeping cute face right there. What's up, Glenn? Gnomen Garden, buddies? How's everyone doing? I'm doing pretty good. So we had Halloween this week. I hope everyone had a good Halloween. What up, Arosa? I'm going to see if I can get a picture of my impromptu quick costume that apparently was so scary. We noticed that none of us were wearing costumes when we were handing out candy. So I ran upstairs and hurriedly put something on. And it was so scary that none of the children wanted to come to our house when I was pacing around in front of our house. I'll see if I can grab a picture of that real quick and send it to you guys. But without any more of my meandering on and off topics, I would like everyone to join me in welcoming a dynamic duo, if you will, of creativity that spans the written word all the way into the digital realms. The first guest that I will be introducing is Jenn Lyons. She's nominated twice for the most astounding award for Best New Writer in 2020 and 2021. Her 5-book fantasy series, which I'm sure she can argue is not really just specifically a high fantasy series, is 5 books. It's A Chorus of Dragons, and it is complete. So if anyone wants to get started reading her books, there's a complete high fantasy series for you, and we'll let her give you the elevator pitch when she comes in. But joining her tonight is her equally talented partner, Mike Lyons, whose storytelling focuses mostly in short stories published in anthologies and stuff like that, but also his prowess behind the DM screen, because he DMs for me, which I'm sure you guys can ask him in chat, is probably just as fun as Crystal trying to harangue me back and forth, keeping on topic during these shows. And the most important thing of all, the highest of feline honors, they are cat parents, and they are gamers of all kinds. Like I said, tabletop video games, and they love Vox Machina and D&D and stuff like that. So anyway, without any more ado, let's pull them in and see if we can come up with any more perfect puns for them.
Look, here comes an awesome guest.
Wow.
Yes, I'm
Thank you. Way to have me come on screen to hysterical laughter. Hello,
Hi.
everyone.
Yes, I'm ridiculous. I know. What is going on? As you can see, yes, we have my lovely Luna with us today. He's going to sleep through the majority of the show, but he is paying attention and taking notes, all mental notes, he is my boss.
You know, they did that study recently, right? That cats actually learn language as fast as children do. They just don't care.
Yep. It was a twofold study, like where they did dogs and cats, where dogs will learn language as you use it to them and apply the words to the things that they mean and things like that. And so do cats. But like you said, the cats just don't give a crap. I loved that. That was perfect. And how many cats for our friends? How many cats do you guys have?
Currently, we only have one.
Ah, okay.
We lost. It was a bad year. We lost 2 cats this year, so that was hugely distressing trauma.
Yes, I fully understand.
But we still have Khajiit. Honestly, she's probably happier being an only cat, which is part of the reason we haven't rushed out to rushed out to get more is because we know she would just immediately try to see how she could bully them.
Ah, okay, that's fair.
Thank you.
The Khajiit is a perfect name. I mean, it's a little on the nose, but it's still perfect.
Khajiit is innocent of these crimes.
Yeah, she isn't. She's not. We also call her Murder Princess.
That's fair.
Murder Princess Kawaii. Yes, exactly.
Like every and if anyone in chat has any, I can add to this too, because I love seeing other people's names. Obviously, like you just alluded to, most people, myself included, have cats. They have names, Luna, but you call them 5,000 other names.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
So if anyone in chat has any, post them in chat. Do you guys? So we got Princess of, what was it? Princess of Kauai is one.
Murder Princess.
Murder Princess.
Murder Princess Kauai. Yeah.
Kauai. Okay. That's a good one.
Also, you know, the standards, dumb shit, furry butt.
That's fair. We have floofy. Ours is floofy pants occasionally.
She's also Little Bug.
Yeah,
I like that one. One. That's a good one.
She decides to grace us. You'll get to see she's almost all black.
Yay!
Yeah.
Oh, what's up, Reverse? Reverse was our guest from last week. Oh, you haven't seen 3 and 4 yet. That's okay. You got a couple of minutes before we get started anyway. Don't worry about it, Reverse. If you haven't followed Reverse,
45 minutes worth of TV shows in the
if you haven't already followed Reverse BLT on YouTube, make sure to go follow him. And I posted Jen's link over to Macmillan Books, which is affiliated with Tor Books, our sponsors.
Yeah, Tor, yeah.
Much love out to Tor, as always. Thank you for so much for sponsoring us. And obviously, if you haven't already, click that subscribe button and the bell and all those things that you're supposed to do that I'm terrible at telling people to do. Anyway.
But you did.
I did.
So
people in chat can tell you that might be the 3rd time I've ever done it in 2.5 years.
All right. Well, but then I feel blessed. You did it for us.
Yes. I'm trying to put my A game on for you guys because I love you guys. So as I mentioned before, Mike DMs for us. So we know you guys like to play. We mentioned you guys like to play Dungeons and Dragons and tabletop games, and obviously that extends into an enjoyment at least of the TV show Vox Machina that we're going to watch in a few minutes. Where did tabletop role playing start for you guys?
Well, for me, it started a little bit later than I think it did for Mike. For me, it started with Ursula K. Le Guin's Tombs of Mount,
okay,
which had me drawing labyrinths on graph paper for a whole summer when I was 10. And right after that, I came across the Dungeon board game. Right,
okay.
that was like my Christmas thing that I wanted, was that because it has dragon on it, and I was always obsessive about dragons, and then that led to D&D. So by the time I was 12, I want to say, I was shanghaiing everybody I knew into playing Dungeons and Dragons, and for some people it didn't stick, for others it did, and for me, I've played it for the rest of my life. So
yeah, that's fair. What about you, Mike?
I was 8. I was in 3rd grade, and so 2 things happened at the same time. One is that my mom had one of the boxed editions, and I looked at it, and it was the one with the little skull hill, like the side cutout, and I thought that was just so cool. And then some guys that were in my class who played during recess, one of the players was sick. So they invited me to come in and play. And it was a stupid, endless stream of kobolds in a 5-foot wide tunnel. And my big, brawny, barbarian fighter character was just in the front. And literally, if I hit them, they would die from the strength bonus alone. So it was just 15 minutes of the GM going, okay, roll the hit. Kobold dead. Roll the hit. Yeah. Kobold dead. And I was like, the biggest badass ever. I love this game. And then I very quickly got shanghaied into GMing, and that's been my life.
That's awesome. So you got to wade through waist deep kobolds after that. That was probably fun. Oh, that's awesome, String. I wish my dad played D&D. Well, actually, let me correct that. I do not wish my dad did play D&D. But
Yeah.
it would be cool if he was the type of person that played D&D.
I have known people who learned how to play D&D from their parents. I'm not one of them.
That's pretty cool.
But
Yeah, so I mentioned that my mom had the box set. I actually didn't live with her for very long. I ended up moving in with my grandmother because my mom was a very bad parent. My grandmother was one of those ultra Catholic D&D is Satan worship types. So,
But she let you have the box and everything?
no, well, okay, so
Did you have to secret it away?
for my I want to say 10th or 11th birthday, I gone to, well, for a friend's birthday, I gone to his house and we played D&D there. And so that's what I wanted. But we couldn't find it initially where I lived. So I just got an old SPI game that was like D&D, but it was like little tokens and it was on a board. It wasn't Dungeon that Jennifer was talking about. I played that. I love that game. But it was this other game. And me and my friend were playing it one day. And like one of the big monsters was a demon. So the demon shows up on the board, and one of us actually said that out loud. And
Whoops.
my grandmother went, "What?" He took the game and threw it in the trash. Right.
Oh.
And I said, "Well, since that was my birthday present, you owe me something else." And she said, "Okay." And we went to Thrifty's, which was like CVS before there was CVS. And I found the box set there. So I bought it, made her buy it for me. And I had that for about a year before she found out that was Satan worship. And then she threw that out also. After that,
but too late.
yeah, the
Too
bug
late.
had well and truly bitten. After that, it was I would buy books on my own, like do lawn mowing and stuff.
Yeah.
Get money, buy the books, and then there was a board game called Scotland Yard, which for whatever reason had an extraordinarily thick box, and a big chunk of the box was just an empty rectangle. It was almost exactly the size of a hardcover D&D book. So I would just hide my books in there.
That's funny. I always find it funny when you talk to people who played D&D like in the 80s and stuff, and you know, they talk about having to hide their books, like, you know, kids, other kids would hide, like, you know, other things that they hide in boxes like that, but you know, we're hiding D&D books and
D&D books, yeah. Because
Yeah, it wasn't bongs or anything.
freaking mazes and monsters ruined it for everyone.
Oh, that is a while. That's pretty far back there, Glenn. That's cool.
All right.
I'm glad that they weren't into the satanic panic stuff. That's cool, but
Yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah.
So the thing I want to talk about with Vox Machina, because
Sure.
I am very fascinated by this fact, is so like Vox Machina, my first series, epic fantasy, by the way.
Course of Dragons.
Course of Dragons. Also started out life as a D&D game. And very long running, lots of detail, huge setting. And in the transition from D&D game to books, it ended up only vaguely resembling D&D. And ended up being very, we'll call it high magic.
Okay.
Very high magic. And I watched Vox Machina and I started laughing the first time I did, because I realized they'd done the exact same thing. That in transferring it from Dungeons and Dragons to a different format, they had sheared away a lot of the D&D basics. You know, it was no longer you could do this many spells this many times a day. It was no longer, you know, you had this very formulaic, strict rules. It was much more high magic, epic feeling.
Unless it's dramatically appropriate.
Right.
Okay.
Yes. So I just thought that was really interesting. You know, I suspect we did it for the same reasons, right? In that, in order to not have it be D&D, you got to go in a different direction.
I like your elevator pitch for the book that I've heard you give it before, but obviously for chat and our viewers, what's the elevator pitch for your book?
Well, the elevator pitch for Rune of Kings changes all the time, so I don't remember which one you've.
The series, yeah.
So this was my. I mean, obviously, it is an homage. Excuse me, I deal with words. There's an homage.
Writing them, not speaking them. It's okay.
To the fantasy books I love and grew up with and have adored all my life, and also a bit of a chance to tweak them a little bit, little bit of teasing. So in this particular case, the entire series basically boils down to, what if the chosen one was actually prophesized to destroy the world?
Okay.
Not a bad guy. Still, not a villain, but everybody thinks he's going to destroy the world.
Sounds a little familiar for some of the Wheel of Time fans.
Yeah, it might. Guess. Yeah. It might feel a little familiar, but with a very different outcome.
Oh yeah,
very different outcome.
Oh, very, very.
But yeah, no, I will be the first person to say that Robert Jordan absolutely affected this series, and you can see it.
I feel like every writer that's between the ages of like 30 and 50 right now that writes fantasy, at least can say that to some extent, whether in the negative or the positive. Right.
Yeah. I think that series had such an impact on the genre, right? That it's difficult to. It's like Tolkien, right? Or these days George R.R. Martin.
Yeah.
It's difficult to write in the field and not touch on things involving those writers.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. Well, Aaron posted a link in chat, but I also posted. There's a link in the YouTube description of this video to Macmillan Books, which I will post again in a second. To go and check out the book. So if anyone is interested in starting a pretty fantastic series that is, again, complete. I know a lot of people don't like to start books before they're done. What's up?
Well, I was going to say, if you don't, I did just have a standalone fantasy come out this summer called The Sky on Fire, which is.
I thought you were literally pointing at your books.
No.
That is a good.
No.
All right.
Yeah. No. My books are cool, but no, I did have a standalone come out this summer called The Sky on Fire, which does have a much pithier elevator pitch, because that one is Dragon Riders of Pern meets Ocean's 11.
That's hilarious.
It is. Somebody told me that. Somebody read it and said, "This is what this book is," and I went,
"Thank you.
You're not wrong, and I'm going to be using that from now on."
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I actually watched that. There's a new movie that just came out with Clooney and Pitt, where they basically play the same character. They're not thieves, but their mentality to each other is very similar, and it was hilarious. So anyway, we won't get too far on that tangent. But yeah, anyway, so link, chat, go buy the books. And I did want to say, though, I always say this to people when they say, "Oh, I'm not going to read this series until it's done." And this is especially true for new authors and indie authors. That's a great way to make sure the series will never get completed.
Yeah.
Here's the thing that a lot of people don't know. Just because a company signed you for a 3, 4, 5, however many book contract doesn't mean that they have to actually publish all of them. If the first one does badly enough, they can just cancel the contract.
You have to give them the books if they want them. They don't have to publish them.
No.
Yeah.
No, they do not. So yeah, no. Fortunately, we managed to get the whole series out. So, I
mean, I've only read the first 3 because I can't read anymore. I don't know what it is. I'm actually, fun fact, on new medication right now. So it's helping, it's helping with the focus a little bit. So we'll see if it helps with reading. I haven't tried sitting and reading. The only book that I've been able to get through in less than a year was because I had to for tour, they sent us a book and they wanted me to do a review for it. And it was like the first one that they've specifically asked me to do. And that was when I did the Westward Passage that we have. It's over on our YouTube, so go check that out.
Yeah, it's a trauma response.
Yeah, yes, it is. Hopefully, by the way, I forgot to mention it before. Hopefully tomorrow, some of the stress and existential dread we've been feeling may be alleviated. That's the hope. Okay. And that's as political as I want to get right now. But I do want to say, I'm posting a link in chat right now. If you don't have a plan, if you haven't done early voting and you have to vote, make sure you have a plan. I posted a vote.gov link in chat. Doesn't matter what state you're from. If you're in the US, click on that. It'll navigate you to state. Make sure you can find your voting places. A lot of places, even if you're not registered, you can register last minute, or you can vote by affidavit. So just, check all the information on that website. Make sure you have a place to vote and you have a plan so you can get there. There's a lot of companies and people that offer rides if you don't have a ride. And also a great way to volunteer last minute if you want to, is to sign up to do phone banking or offering rides to people, things like that. So
vote curing. They need a lot of people to do vote curing right now. And this is very important. If you are in line before they close, they cannot turn you away.
Correct.
So if you are in line and they are closing, stay in line.
Yes.
They have to let you vote.
Yes, actually, all of us used to work at polling places, and that law is true in every state. So some close at 11, some close at 9. But if you are in line, they have to service every single person that is in line when the time ends. But they don't have to let new people line up. So just make sure you get there beforehand.
Yeah, usually what they'll do is they'll send one of the precinct employees to the end of the line to turn people away.
Mm-hmm. I only had to do that 1 year, thankfully.
To answer Glenn's comment earlier, Glenn, it's not that my microphone isn't working, it's that Jennifer and I are in the same room. And so to prevent echoing, my mic's actually turned off. You're hearing me off of her microphone.
Yeah, otherwise
if you need me to talk louder, I will do so.
Yeah, otherwise we bounce off of each other. Normally, when we do something together, we do so with a push to talk function. But as it turns out, we don't have one of those available right now. So.
Yeah. Apparently, they only give hotkeys to the administrator side of things.
But for an example, this is what it sounds like if I unmute my microphone.
Yeah.
You all may be hearing me echoing off of my mic and Jennifer's mic.
Yeah, we don't want to do that. I got my picture for my Halloween costume. I wish we got one when it was at night, but hold on. Where is it? Present. This was impromptu, so I didn't have it prepared. There we go. I of course, because giant nerd, I had my Sith costume just kind of sitting in my closet, and I went and threw it on. But no kids wanted to come up to the door and come up to our yard and see me, because apparently I was too scary. But of course, yes, even though I was a Sith, purple lightsaber. I know canonically not correct, but I don't care. I like purple.
Well, I was going to say Sith Lord or glowing sworded Nazgul.
Yeah, that's true. Could be. It was though there was a kid in a what is it, Spirit Halloween stormtrooper costume with the mask, and I saw him coming down the street. He stopped for a second, and then he looked up to his dad, and then he started walking forward again, and he put his mask down. And when he walked past me, I said, "Trooper," and he saluted me, and then I saluted him back, and it was fantastic. He couldn't see my face, giddily smiling, but I was. But in order to get kids to come up to our house, I had to go and change and out of my costume. But while I was inside changing, apparently he ran home, changed into his Sith costume with his lightsaber, and came back, and I was inside and I missed him. So now I'm just going to think about that for the rest of my life, that I disappointed this child. What's up, Rapunzel? What's going on? You have not, you're not too late. We haven't started watching yet. But
real quick, just back to the vote thing.
Sure.
The NAACP has partnered with Lyft to give people free rides, 2 rides worth $20 each. Use the code NAACP vote 24.
So if you use Lyft as a service, you can use Lyft code NAACP.
Vote 24. All
Yeah.
Vote 24. To get a free ride for voting. So make sure if you need to vote and you need a ride, two free rides.
So one there and one back.
That makes sense. That makes sense. I'm glad someone thought it. Someone was like, we'll give free rides to everybody who votes. And then someone in the background was like, sir.
Space between the word code and the N in NAACP. The code does not include the word code in it.
True. What he said. I can't edit it at this point, but yes. I will repost it in a second. I'm going to post the link to our watch party so people can get that ready. We're not going to start watching just yet. As per usual, we're going to take, a few minutes for people to get ready, join the watch party. And if you're not going to watch it through the watch party and you're watching by some other means, we'll just leave that there. Luna today will have the timer, not me. It's on Luna's camera. So just look over to Luna's camera. I will align the timer for you guys and you can follow along that way. If you're watching through the watch party, I don't have ads. If you have ads, just realign to the timer, or it should catch back up for you, depending on whose thing it uses. I don't know. I feel like it changes week to week. Sometimes people are like, I didn't get any ads. And some people are like, I got a bunch of ads. So I have no idea. Though I also learned today, and this is directly at Amazon because I don't care, you have to pay per person to go ad-free. So like as an Amazon Prime member, you can share your Amazon Prime account with your household, with one adult and teen and child in your household. If you pay for ad-free, it's $2.99 per person per account. It's like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
I'm sure I wonder what you actually get for being a Prime subscriber anymore.
Nothing. There is a class action lawsuit against them specifically because when they advertised Prime Video, it was as for ad-free streaming. So there is currently a class action against Bezos.
Good.
Yeah, very. Anywho. So anyway, I'll repost the link one more time for the watch party if people want to join the watch party. For those who haven't joined before, it uses Teleparty, which is a free web extension, works on any Chrome-based operating system and Mac. And it'll have you sign in to your normal Amazon account, and you can just watch along that way. Netflix made it during the pandemic because they didn't have a watch party feature, and it works so much better than pretty much everyone else's watch parties feature, especially Disney Plus's. Looking at you, also Disney Plus. We had lots of problems when we did Mandalorian. That all the other brands started allowing them to use it, so they changed it from like Netflix Teleparty to just Teleparty, and now you can use it with pretty much everybody, which is nice. We'll give people like a few minutes for that. Anyway, while we wait, I do have one more fun bit of news. So Tor is letting us sell some Eye of the World books. The new Eye of the World cover, I don't know why they use the old cover. It's got the Rosamund Pike cover on it over on the Dragonmount store website, which Aaron will link in chat in a minute. And if you want, you can get the first book for $2.99. It's a great gift for people that you're trying to indoctrinate. I mean, get to read Wheel of Time for the first time. You can make a great Christmas present. And if you buy it through the Dragonmount website, we get, little kudos from Tor. Not any money, just like, hey, look, we saw traffic come through your website. And that makes them like us and sponsor our shenanigans. So if you're thinking about doing that, do it. Oh, I do have an update too. So last week we talked about, so Jenn and Mike, I think I told you guys about it. There was a Robert Jordan auction for some of his personal book collection. I did tell you guys about it. Okay. And they auctioned off a bunch of his personal books, which was really awesome. And I got a bunch of stuff, and I showed some people some things last week. But they also shipped it to me, and the box was damaged, and several of the things inside of it was damaged. And I took pictures, and I want to show you guys the pictures. And I got an update from the people. People were asking for pictures last week, and I did not have them ready, but I do have them now. I just don't know where the hell they went. Why aren't you letting me show people pictures, my computer? I don't know why. I downloaded them, and now they're not here. When I downloaded them, where did they go? I don't know. I'll find them in a second. But the update from the auction house is they're going to give me a refund for my shipping, which was significant because all of the books that I got were heavy. And they said they're going to give me a percentage back for, and this is a bit of news that I didn't know, so I'm kind of softly announcing it right now, the next Robert Jordan auction, which is December 19th. I didn't know about it until he was like, what? The guy was like, "Oh, we're going to have another one on December 19th." What were you saying?
That got Luna excited. As soon as you said another
thing,
Luna got.
He's like,
yeah. So Lee over at Embassy Auctions International, which I'm guessing is their manager, was like, "Well, if the items were damaged, you could send them back to us, and maybe they'll be available. You know, maybe similar items will be available in the next one." And I'm like, "No, not sending them back, buddy. I want to keep them. I just want to know what you're going to do for me that I am keeping them, and they're damaged because of your poor packing." So they did offer me the shipping back and a small compensation, which is nice. He said credit toward the next auction, which I actually proposed and he accepted. So I'm cool with that because definitely going to be getting stuff in the next auction. All right, let me grab the pictures from there's the pictures. Okay. I'm just going to share the screen because I don't know why it's not working, so I don't care. All right. Hold on a second. First, you got to see the box because the box is really just the start of the outside of the box was a lot of fun. When I saw, well, all right. So I got like 30 graphic novels, like pretty decently thick graphic novels. I got a couple of them over here, I think. Yeah, here's one. So like they're pretty thick. So like 30 of these graphic novels sitting in a box, like just freely moving around because also no packing in the box whatsoever. Here's the thing. Okay, there you go. So this was whoops, that's my friend Matt petting his cat. All right. So this was how the box arrived. And this is what it looked like. And then this is the inside of the box. Absolutely no packing whatsoever, nothing in it, just the books thrown in the box. And the comic books also in there. So like freely just able to move around and you can see like,
yeah,
like all bent and crimped and stuff on the edges.
Sure.
And these two all like this wasn't like that when they sent them to me. So we'll see what they offer me, but I was unhappy with their packing prowess.
Yeah, that's no bueno.
Yeah. So if you guys do get stuff from the next auction, make sure to include a note in your thing to please pack things properly. Because
bag and board.
Yeah, really.
Bag and board.
I know, right? Like I got the comics and none of them were bagged and board. So I, of course, did it myself.
What auction company doesn't know how to do that though? That's so weird.
Honestly, like, I feel like just based on the way they listed the comic books and the graphic novels, whoever did it just didn't think that they were like, they like, oh, comics and graphic novels, because they listed all of them in a huge lot. Like where's the freaking thing? Right. I got 30 of these. Like, why not list separate auctions for each one and make more money? Because you could sell them. And the comic series is 5 different comic books. I got like 20 of each one, right, instead of them selling them as a lot. So they were just like, throw it all in one lot. Who cares?
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
No,
so,
I agree with you. Yeah.
No. And then especially compounded with the way that they arrived in the box. I was like, yeah, they were like, those comic books, who gives a crap? That's what
So
it felt like.
Aaron said that a friend of hers ordered a book recently, and they folded it and put it in the mailbox. I would go ballistic.
Oh yeah. But actually, she didn't order a book. She is an author, and she made the book, and that was the they're sending it to her to okay it.
Right.
Yeah. Also, I don't want to say who it was because I'm not sure she wants to tell people about this next part, but I'm going to tell you guys because I thought it was crazy, and I'm fully a conspiracy theorist on this. It was a children's book. And inside the children's book was another book that was politically motivated in nature, just sandwiched at the end of the book. And it was...
They've been having a lot of problems with books migrating into other books.
Mm-hmm. And it was praising an orange person, we'll say.
Yeah, no, no.
And Gnome and Garden,
that's horrible. That's horrible.
But at least the folded in half book you can still read.
Yeah. A vinyl record too, going through the mail, like if it's going somewhere hot, can it like warp and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
That's great.
Yeah.
All
I mean, okay.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm angry again now about the.
No, absolutely. I mean, I've had it happen with my own books. I've had it happen.
I've seen it happen
with other. Yeah, they've been doing a move because there's been so much print on demand happening that that has been an issue, and it seems to be just over the entire industry that you're getting everything's being run out so fast that they're making sloppy mistakes, and this is what happens.
Yeah, well, that's a great question. Do you know how that could even happen? Books getting mixed together like that? Like,
yeah, you're printing out a bunch of stuff, and if you don't, they're not doing QA. If you are doing a bunch of things really fast, a bunch of runs really fast, it's entirely possible that you could have a stack of papers that include several books. And if you're not dividing those correctly, then, 15 pages of one book could end up in another book, or you could have stuff that ends up in the center. It's a lack of QA, and it's a lack of caution during the actual assembly process.
So is it just that there were pages in the book that were from a different book, but it was still bound? Or was it like literally a second book shoved inside?
No, it wasn't shoved inside. It was bound. It was her book, and then it changed to another book.
Yeah. All the ones I've heard about, including the couple that happened with my books, were bound in.
Bound, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it wasn't just in the bag.
The second answer is minimum wage employees who aren't allowed to take bathroom breaks.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well, I mean, that's I mean, it's a problem basically involving how quickly they're printing these things.
Which also reminds me, unionize. Unions are great. We love unions here. And if you don't, then leave, because unions are perfect. And I hope everyone, they're not perfect. They need work too.
No, they're not perfect.
But we hope everyone in every Amazon warehouse across the whole planet gets unionized. I mean, we've gotten a couple. I think one in Staten Island got unionized, which is not surprising, to tell you the truth.
No.
All right. That is enough stalling for us, though. I will post the link one more time, just in case, and then we're going to press play on this episode.
Okay.
So we're going to be watching episode 3 of Vox Machina.
This is like a hardcore horror series, right?
Yes.
It's like the Saw.
Yeah, absolutely. Body horror, specifically.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Not really, though.
Actually, honestly, if Taliesin had his way, it probably would be.
You're not wrong. You are absolutely correct. All right, so I'm going to give everyone a countdown if you're aligning with our timer, and if you're watching on the watch party, just sit back and relax. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, and play. The timer will start in a second because I gave it a slight delay. There we go. Okay. So timer's going and it is perfectly aligned. Luna, did I do a good job? Thanks, buddy. All right. So how versed, how far, now we're only going to do, let me put my banner up that I usually have. Where is it? Bloop. Okay.
See, it's already going terribly wrong.
Yeah. I mean, just like episode 1, we have like 5 or 6 deaths within the first 30 seconds.
I mean, it's all flashback stuff, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was just like episode 1 too.
Yeah.
But if you're new to, like, if you're new, like, you don't know that it's flashback stuff. We don't know what's happening. The
If you haven't watched the first 2 episodes, yes, but they
yeah,
called the little brown haired boy Percy, so
they did. You're right. And this is the first time we're getting to see Cassandra as well.
Yeah, all of them pre-white because their hair.
White hair, yeah.
Correct. Which reminds me, do I have Cassandra over here yet? No, Delilah. Where's Cassandra? I thought I put Cassandra in here too. The woman that plays Cassandra is pretty awesome. Where's my
She is.
my assets? Episode 3. Cassandra should have been in there. This is craziness. I'm lodging a complaint, Luna. Anyway, there's Cassandra. So Esme Creed Miles. She's a fantastic actress, and if you haven't looked her up on YouTube, you should. I mean, on YouTube, on IMDb, you should. You'll recognize her from a lot of things.
Yeah, she was in the TV version of Hannah. She was
Yes.
the lead.
That was a great movie too. Yeah, that was a great movie too. The little girl is like an assassin or whatever.
Yeah,
it's kind of like early Red Room. It kind of gives like the feel of like the Red Room or you know the assassins that the Black Widow is from the Marvel universe. It kind of reminds me of that.
Yeah, it's also like a toned down version of Angel.
Yeah.
She is such a Disney princess. I'm sorry, I'm watching a show.
I love her though. She's great because she's like a Disney princess sometimes, but then every now and then she comes out of left field with some crazy shit or you know, completely cursing and like just being ridiculous or throwing up from drinking too much. Oh, well, I forgot that I left the thing on. This is what I get for trying to do 3 things at once. And that's
Drink it.
Keyleth we were talking, by the way, that we were talking about.
Also drink it.
Yes.
And we talked about last week Allura, right? Alludra's Wheel of Time. Stop, Tom. Allura is from Game of Thrones. Another Game of Thrones actor that's on the show, Indira Varma.
Varma. Yep.
Yeah, she played one of the Sand Snakes, or the leader. I forgot her character's name. She was like the leader of the Sand Snakes.
She was also in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series.
Yes, she was.
She was on the first episode of Torchwood.
She's been in everything.
Yep, and one of my favorites, Luther. She played his ex-wife in Luther. Idris Elba. I just say his because everyone should just know who Idris Elba is and love him and think he's gorgeous because I do.
Ow. You know he sneak attacked that.
Oh, see you later, reverse. Sorry, I forgot that.
The
reverse
ball tag thing, you know he
yeah.
sneak attacked that.
Oh, yeah.
There's no way he didn't sneak attack that.
Oh, by the way, I'm pretty sure almost every guy can attest that at some point in your lives, that was a game that you played.
I don't understand men.
I don't either.
They played it at Pandemic.
Oh God. Yeah, you're right. Oh God.
The shiny blazing cod piece. I love it.
Rainbow cod piece.
Yes. Oh, and by the way, do you guys know that the animation team? So now we know Matt Mercer does a lot of voices in this, but
himself right there.
Well, that's actually not him doing the voice. That is a picture of him. That
Yes.
is an animated version of him. But the animation team secretly animated him into every single episode, and the character that they animated him as is usually someone getting screwed over somehow by Vox Machina.
Nice.
He gets screwed over a little bit later. Like obviously they just dumped a ton of weapons on him, and that was like one way. But a little bit later, you see him again.
Yeah, no, yeah. You can play a game of Spot Matt Mercer.
Oh, what? Oh, yeah, Bride and Prejudice. Yes, you should watch that, Glenn. You should definitely watch that. She is great in that too. I love that Grog and Pike are like a team. We also get to see some really great acting from both of them, but specifically Grog later on when they have to split up. I really like his, like, how he gets so sad and, like, what's his name? The actor that plays him. It's in my head.
Travis.
We're having a moment.
Travis.
We're having a moment.
Oh, right. Yeah. Whoop.
Hey,
That was me.
that's not the right moment.
Yeah, that was me. Sorry. I'll fix it. And we'll have a better moment because we'll redo it. Boop. Okay, there we go.
I was just gonna say this is very important to Percy. So
yeah, I'll fix it. That's my bad. Yeah, I know. I got it. There it is.
Wrong place.
Yeah. There we go.
Nope. Further
back.
They
Whoops,
literally just said the name Whitestone. Nobody's
okay.
They
When
have
he
not shown
introduced
up
them.
yet. Yeah, they have not been
There we
introduced
go.
yet.
We'll stop there.
There we go. That's good.
Yeah, sorry about that. I clicked on the screen and clicked on the scroll bar instead of the just the screen.
Meanwhile, I'm over here watching a commercial with Chevy Chase in it.
See, some people get ads, some people don't. It's very weird. And the timer is pretty close to being right. I'll get it right in 2 seconds. And the timer is right. Okay, there we go. I fixed it. I fucked it up, but I fixed it. Luna is asleep, so he didn't see it, so we're good. I'm not going to get fired tonight.
There we go.
The timer is also going backwards.
Yeah, that's how Amazon ticks down on some of the stuff. If you look at the timer on Amazon, it's ticking down.
No, Percy, you left your gun at the coat check.
Yeah. It's them. Look at Grog. He's trying to be small. So one of our friends that's there that we just met is Delilah Briarwood. So she's our first. Is it the first? Yeah, she's the first person we've met tonight. That is she has done almost 800 voice acting roles. But she did if anyone played Star Wars: The Old Republic, which I played a lot of, and you made a bounty hunter female player character, you had her voice. It was her. She is the one that did Bounty Hunter Female, which is the player character for people who were female bounty hunters. And Azula.
99.
She's also done a ton of voices and like literally 800 credits to her. Like it's like 760 or something like that credits. It's insane. And that's just for voice acting. She's also producing and writing and all kinds of stuff.
Grog's not wrong.
No. I think they balance like the seriousness, the horror, the violence and stuff with the juxtaposition of humor really well also.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah. Which reminds me, speaking of humor, and we're going to get that very soon from this character, a stereotypical horny bard that doesn't annoy me at all. Like I love him.
Yeah. No, it's a rare thing because that's a trope I'm not crazy about. But Scanlan's okay.
Yeah. Which is a testament to Sam Riegel.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Oh yeah, that's true. The backstory that he gave him, because we talked about this last week. So this is an interesting, different type of adaptation that we've watched. So like we've watched books to TV shows, we've watched animated to live action, we've watched comic books to animate, and all back and forth and in between. But this was a D&D campaign, a live play D&D campaign that got adapted for an animated TV show. So it's very different. The writers...
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, you finish. You go.
So you want an added level of complication?
Yeah.
It was a Rollmaster game. Pathfinder.
Pathfinder game.
Pathfinder,
game,
yes.
Adapted to D&D to be live streamed. That was then adapted to be this cartoon.
And then remade again into its own campaign setting. But the
I mean, yes,
it's still D&D. It's still D&D, but
yeah, it's still D&D.
the
Daggerheart isn't yet this campaign setting. It will
True.
be, I'm sure. Okay.
True. The writers actually not only sat with Matt Mercer, obviously, to do this, and his like continuity people that he has that works for him, apparently, because every DM should have those, apparently. But each individual actor, because they made their characters, they wrote their characters' backstories because they were just playing D&D with Matt before they started filming this thing. So they actually sat with all of the actors individually and like helped build the characters for the animated series with them, which I thought was really cool.
And some of them are also writers. Some of them wrote episodes of the show.
Yeah.
Or directed in some cases.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I think it's the person who directs episode 4 also played in an early Critical Role game.
Who was that?
I forgot. I have it on the episode 4 stuff. Oh, also, I just passed one of my notes. If anyone, do you guys recognize this animation style particularly from anywhere, or do you know where it's from?
I mean, I know who did it.
He's also the lead animator that did all the DC stuff, and it's very similar to that. They were the Critical Role team was a huge fan of the DC animated stuff, which I also was, through the 90s and early 2000s. I mean, you could see it. It's much smoother and nicer, but like you could still really see it in here.
I love that as you watch that episode, Silas never actually eats anything or drinks anything. He just pushes his food around
on the table.
As is tradition.
Yep. You never know who poisoned it. Keyleth, though, right there.
No.
That's not why.
Yeah.
I mean,
come on.
It's a spoiler, but what he is.
Oh well, yeah. We are spoiling for season 1. Like we could talk all about season 1. He's he's essentially Strahd.
Yeah, he's a vampire, which we're going to find out either in this episode.
Yeah, no, we're just minutes away.
Minutes away from it being announced.
Seconds.
But we've already talked about his character in this. Young Justice was awesome. I think he did work on Gargoyles as well, or at least the animation team also worked on Gargoyles, if I remember correctly. One of the things that I and I'm interested to hear your guys' thoughts on this and chat. So it seems like, and we'll learn this in the next episode, but I think it's poignant to bring it up now because they're being so horrible. Like they weren't always horrible. Like her partner died and tried to resurrect him, and she happened to use some bad magic to do that. And then they kind of, leaned into the evilness.
I'm going to say that she probably always leaned in that direction. They both probably always leaned in that direction.
That's fair. I mean, you don't just happen to have that grimoire sitting around.
That's the thing. Yep.
If I'm recalling correctly, she became a warlock.
Yeah.
So
she's essentially a warlock.
She did sort of basically just create that book. But
That's fair.
whatever, D&D rules notwithstanding, what we don't find out until campaign 2 is where they're from. Humans are actually an oppressed group.
Yeah, so overthrowing, you use any means necessary almost to overthrow your oppressors.
Well, fair, but I guess we're not spoilering that because it's not even a thing.
Yeah. I mean, that wasn't a spoiler.
Well,
The whispered one is an actual evil entity, though. So, that could, I guess, if she's a warlock, that would be her patron.
Yeah.
But could be a question for the chat. Where's the whispered one originally from?
Ooh, where's the whispered one from? Does anyone know where the whispered one is from? Yes. Is he from Brooklyn?
Yes, Brooklyn.
That's exactly right.
Listen, no one.
Hey, I'm writing a book here.
Exactly. I was going to say no one in Brooklyn whispers. Exactly 0 people.
Yeah. Sorry. That was not a man who rolled high on his persuasion roll. I would just like to say.
Nope. That was even though you can't crit on skill checks, that was a crit fail.
Well, I mean, in the early days of Critical Role, you absolutely could crit fail on skill checks. They did it all the time.
Yeah, I mean, it makes for good TV.
Where you could.
Yeah. Here we go. Here it comes. And this is great. See, yeah, I think this is what I think makes his horny bard trope really, really funny. Oh, hey, Carrie, what's up? I like seeing new names in chat. Oh no, but I remember your dog. You were here last week, I think. A wizard. That's interesting.
She might be. Yeah.
She could. I could see that. That could be her spell book. Also possible.
But I think the show is moved beyond classes at this point. So
that's true. Yeah.
She's a necromancer, whatever that means.
Whatever that is, yeah. She raises a lot of dead, that's for sure.
Yep.
Wizards, warlocks, clerics, lots of classes get that spell.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about paladins. I don't think so.
In a quantity that typically you don't get to do. So, it's not rules based anymore. It's cool based.
Yeah. I do like how they adapt. Oh, here we go. This is when they kind of they always, whatever character he plays in the episode, or whatever character they make look like him in the episode, gets screwed over in some way. In episode 1, he gets peed on by Scanlan. So
yep.
That's actually twice that Grog specifically has messed with him. In episode 2, Grog steals a keg of his beer.
Right.
Oh God, the voice acting is so great. Sorry, every time they shout or really emphatically do things, it's hard to ignore how good they are. The voice acting.
Like they're professionals or something.
Yeah, weird.
I know. Wouldn't it be it would be crazy if to just be like, oh yeah, all my friends are voice actors and professional actors, and we just play D&D together normally, even before the Critical Role stuff. That would make for an incredibly insane table.
I mean, that's why almost everybody in the first campaign has an accent.
Mm-hmm.
Even Grog.
Bees? I like
bees.
I love that they did that. For those who don't know, there is a spell in D&D that is just called bees. It even has a question mark.
It's not core. I think it's Rick and Morty.
Yeah, I'm not. It's not core. Yeah, no, it's
not core. It is on D&D Beyond though. If you do have it, if you have that book, but it's fun. It functions the same way as the other spells. It's just named funny.
Yeah.
And Grog, our typical barbarian.
Yeah.
He did dress up for the occasion, though. He put a sash on.
Yes.
Exactly.
That's fancy.
And now I want to make that sword as a magic item in a D&D campaign now.
I don't.
Motherfucking beans. Oh, sorry. Oh, so I was saying before, I feel like what makes him tolerable. I love that the old man's into it too. I feel like what makes his trope tolerable here is that he's actually singing and doing good, and it's not just someone at a table being like, you know, horny bard trope. I want to hit on everybody, but not performing in any way.
Sure,
he can perform. He can perform really well.
I think it also helps that, like, at least in the campaign, he's not alone. Grog is usually right there with him.
Oh yeah.
So it's not just the horny bard.
I did like getting to see their shenanigans, like when they like. We don't really see a lot of downtime stuff with them, like in between. They jump right into the story, obviously, pretty quick. But that opening scene with them in the bar was perfect. It was so good.
Yep. When you play ball tag and they just get more annoyed, you know you're in trouble.
Oh yeah. Oh, Wall of Thorns. There you go. I love druids.
I love that there were certain roles that Matt was just like, nope, I'm not giving up. And so I was one of them.
Yep. I think I have
into the carriage.
What did I have on the guy that plays Desmond? I had something on him that was fun that I wrote down.
Did you really, Kirsty?
No, not even a little, not even remotely.
Yeah, not even slightly.
The beginning of the player starting to go, is Percy okay?
Oh,
Percy is not okay.
He's One Punch Man. That's what it was. The guy that does the voice of Desmond, the wagon, that guy that's getting kicked in the face right now. He's
interesting.
He's One Punch Man.
All right.
Another anime I never watched because it has 20 million episodes, and I can't. But I've seen clips and I know the story, and it seems fun.
You know, when you start smoking,
yeah,
it's never a good sign.
Yep.
I think the plague mask is also a good way.
Yeah. Especially when you are not on fire.
Woof. The group dynamic that they have here of like the group confronting him, especially in the next episode. And Keyleth, I believe, is the one that's like, I want to know about the smoke, just like shouts it out in the middle like, when they're talking.
I mean, fair, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. He does have some good ones. I mean, they're cold. His one-liners are cold and badass. Scanlan has my favorite one-liners. It's like, damn it. All right. For people who are real quick, for people who are in the watch party, I'm just going to let it play into the next episode. So, and I'll set the timer up when we get there. Anyway, go ahead, Mike. Sorry.
No, I'm just you said, damn it. And I said, no, the language was much harsher.
Yeah, you're right. I should have just assumed.
Well, that was so last week when you guys did episodes 1 and 2, they were talking about like why they began the way they did, with that other adventuring team just getting massacred by a Brimscythe. And basically they said, because we wanted everyone to understand what kind of cartoon this is. So we had blood, we had dismemberment, and we had somebody saying fuck in the very first episode. We had
a human woman being eaten out by a gnome. Naked. Sure. So we had breasts right in the first 3 minutes too.
Yep.
So Ashley Johnson's character in the Critical Role game also leaves the group at this point, but that's because Ashley Johnson was filming a movie and she couldn't be there.
TV show.
Or TV show. Yeah, TV show.
Yeah.
But the way, and I like the way that they kind of include that, but change it for the, like, it's a great way to show the how they are adapting it. Like, obviously they're not going to take the entire character out,
Right.
they still kind of nod to that fact that happened in the game by doing it this way. And I thought it was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
They couldn't really do it the way they did in the game, which is she would leave, and then if Ashley could like Skype in, she would show up as like a glowing avatar of herself.
Yeah.
Like an astral projection or whatever, and that just wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah. I mean, they kind of do that, but like, you know, she's there the whole time. She's a permanent astral projection, which doesn't really exist in D&D until you get to like level 20, but still fun. Oh my God. I know you guys can't hear Luna, but he just made a fantastic sound.
Oh.
Baby.
Let's see if we can there we go. Get a little closer. We won't encroach on his space. There we go. He's so cute and fluffy. Okay.
Carrie, to answer your question, yes. I have.
Oh, sorry. I have watched like a few, I don't know how many episodes, because they're so long and I just kind of let them play. But I have not watched the entirety of the campaigns.
Yeah,
campaign 1.
I would bounce out occasionally, but usually come back in. So I know everything that happens in campaign 1.
Yeah.
Campaign 2 was a little less.
I went back and read a few articles on campaign 1 and 2 just to prep for when I was watching the show, and that's what kind of I had watched it in the past, but that's what prompted me to go and actually watch it, because I was like, all right, that sounds more interesting. I just couldn't get into watching a live play. I don't know what it is.
It's a long commitment of watching people sit around, roll dice, do math, and get the rules wrong a whole lot in the early game.
Oh yeah. Ooh. Here's a new character that we're getting for episode 3. I mean, he was at the end of episode 2 there for a second, but this is his first real big here, Jarrett.
Yeah, Jarrett's awesome.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
We at the FBI do not have a sense of humor that we are aware of.
Yeah. And I'm glad, again, yes, like you said, he's playing another cop as per usual. I love him so much. Let me get his picture out there. Eugene. I love Eugene. Anyone who has seen iZombie or what was it? The new Jack Reacher, right? Yeah, the new Jack Reacher, I think. Yeah, he plays the same. Yeah, he's also just a detective. I mean, he's essentially a detective in this too. He's the captain of the guard. I mean, if that's not a detective, I don't know what is a detective. There it goes. There he is.
So
Eugene Bird.
That line was like 4 episodes in the actual streaming show.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out if he was actually going to turn into a vampire or not.
That's what usually takes me out of the thing, is when things just take like a lot of setup for things like that. It's just I forget. Oh, that's entirely understandable. I mean, Allie and Gus are a ton of fun. Wheel Takes is a first-time reader show for Wheel of Time. We've had Allie and Gus on the show plenty of times. I love them very much. They were our buddies over in Prague when we were over there for Malkircon. Oh yeah. I love so like this is again playing into the tropiness of, you know, he wants he's the face, but he's also not smart, so he's gotta pretend.
I think the funniest part about that is that those two are like best friends in real life.
Yeah. What would you like to discuss? All right, here we go. I think she shouts it in a second. That's fair. There she. I want to know about the smoke.
Also, I love that he says, "How would I know that Briarwoods would be attending?" They were told that before they went. What Allura was.
Oh, what's up, Danny? All right.
Them. She said,
"That's fair. That's fair." I'll give it. I'll give it another shot, Danny. I'll give it another shot. Also, hello, welcome to chat. And his classic tragic backstory also isn't as annoying.
I love me a broody boy, though.
He is very broody. He's very, very broody. Deservedly so.
Oh, sure.
So,
yeah.
especially after this flashback.
But broody. Oof.
I think what I like about Taliesin is he does broody, but also like pushes it into anger, like the whole thing with Orthanix and all along.
Yeah.
Like he wants revenge, not just to wallow. Whereas on average, Liam just wants to wallow.
Yeah.
Because Liam also plays broody voice all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But he's mostly just like, oh, my past is so tragic.
Look at their faces. Especially when, like, I think it's this episode too, where Keith is like, I understand what you're going through. My family won't let me come back either unless I do this thing. And he's like, yeah, but my family's dead. And that's like such a, oh God, I feel like I've heard that exchange at a table numerous times.
But they do have wonderful couple banter.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, wonderful couple banter.
Absolutely.
That's what Tom was talking about earlier. Like the idea that these two characters, they're but for the grace of God, right? Like they could have actually been really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Evil.
Except for the whole evil.
Yeah.
I think it's also really cool that they've gender flipped them though. Like normally the
Yes.
guy
Yeah.
is the one pining for the lost woman, and so he becomes evil and raises her, and she's all messed up in some way.
Yeah, I mean, it's an exact. It's like a weird amalgam of the Strahd story, where Strahd, in the spoilers for the Strahd campaign, it's been out for, I don't know,
30 years.
He wants to resurrect his, or find his reborn love, Ilyena, or kill. I think
The plot of every vampire story
yeah.
ever.
Absolutely. And
I mean, sorry.
yeah. And a large point of his plot is doing that. And essentially that's what happened here, except in the reverse, like you said, and how she's kind of taking the reins on all of the big goings on. And really, he's just the muscle, kind of.
Yep.
To be protected, which I
Yeah.
love.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They just use his vampiric abilities.
I was going to say, to be fair, a high-level wizard versus just a vampire, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
She's 100%
I'll make a sandwich.
in that relationship.
These two are a lot of fun, too.
Oh, yeah.
No. I thought we were going to get graced, but no, he's not waking up. This is what happens when I feed him right before we go live. Luna will sleep through the whole thing. But that's good for me, because then he can't get me in trouble when I mess up.
Yeah. Let's make it a sandwich.
With no utensils.
Mm-hmm.
I like that term for him, house husband.
Yep. Absolutely, house husband.
I'm very much a house husband. I do all the
terrifying
cooking.
house husband.
Oh yeah. Speaking of terrifying, Luna's waving his hands around.
It's just grooming himself.
The this whole thing with her connection to her god and the way she has her magic is really cool, and I like how they played with that.
I also love that it's because they know where the whole story arc is going to go. They can start foreshadowing stuff that happens way later in the campaign.
Oh yeah, and which is the perfect opportunity to slip a little Wheel of Time in here. And that's exactly what we tell people about the Wheel of Time TV show is like the writers have the full breadth of the story to be able to do things that not even the original writer could do because he didn't. But they can set up the story even better. You know, I mean, Matt does help them with a lot of stuff, but for the most part, they kind of just ask for his opinions on things, and he does give pointers and things like that. But he's not like sitting on them in the writers' room or anything, which I like. He drank that way too long before she told him that.
Fair. But then, Pike has her moments too.
She does. I love this dynamic between the two of them, though.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's good.
He needs an ear rub. I don't. He may freak out.
He was rubbing his ear earlier.
Yeah.
What's up, buddy?
Oh.
What's up, buddy? What's up, huh?
So I'll stop watching the show and watch Linda.
There you go. I made it happen for you guys. We know Luna's the real star of the show.
Oh, yeah.
So we haven't seen Matt yet, by the way. I'll let you guys see if you could pick out when he comes on camera. The character that looks like Matt, not that he plays.
Right.
I was going to say, you mean Cyclops?
He does a lot of voices in this, obviously. I mean, freaking guys been
Yeah.
acting forever. Well, all right, then. That
Yeah.
looks like it might be a little painful, maybe.
Yeah, no, it's
Terrifying. Terrifying is what this is.
yeah.
So much worse than the actual D&D game.
Oh yeah, so much worse than the actual ones. Yeah, absolutely. And like we said before, if you weren't here, how the writers also work with all of the individual voice actors on their characters since they made them, because they made up their own characters, and that's really cool too. Oh God, the freaking glint on the glasses.
They did. I mean, that's an anime staple.
I know.
It lets you know he's a badass.
Yeah.
That's what that means.
Yep. Yep.
It's tradition.
If we did a drinking game of how many glints that happen on those glasses, we would be dead.
They're dead. But it's two things. It's he's a badass and he has ranged
He's brooding.
sharpshooting powers and
That's it.
brooding.
Brooding.
But those are always sharpshooters for just because.
Fair.
Yeah.
He does also have some sick sideburns, I will say.
That is true. It's true.
I usually don't like sideburns, like especially like that. But
Oh, this whole series plays with the sideburns on a number
Once
of
again.
characters. Yep.
Yeah, the hiding the eyes without actually hiding his face.
yeah. I mean, they play with they're playing with his eyes a lot in this, obviously, specifically for a reason. And I also like how they did the whole mask thing. I feel like the mask is like like a hint at, when people wear masks like that, it's usually to be like, this isn't me anymore. Like, I can do these things that I'm doing because I put this mask on and I'm no longer me.
Right.
It's usually like a trope in masked vigilantes and masked serial killers and masked whatever. So like, I like that they're leaning into that, as we do know where it ends up going.
Also, that it vaguely looks like Orthox.
It does, yeah. What did you do? All I did was make a hoagie. I'm sorry.
How would they know that?
Yeah. Sometimes you just got to suspend the disbelief.
Hmm. No. It's a stupid question.
Yeah.
Well, but it's right up there with like the one that you always see. One person says, oh, I think you killed the guy. The other guy says, what possible reason would I have to do that? And the first person says, will you tell me? Like, no, it was your dumb idea.
Yeah. Is this a Pierce Morgan interview? What's happening here?
Right.
Okay.
Good job.
Oh, that's cool. Dragon Age Veilguard is fantastic, by the way.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that.
I should stream it. I'm bad at that. So let's see. Anyone recognize that table right there?
Yeah, it's their table.
Yeah.
They're actually a table.
Yeah. They snuck it in. Same cutouts and everything. Yeah. Okay, so no one called it out yet, but we already saw Matt. He was the ghoul that hit Scanlan, so he did get his comeuppance a little bit in this episode.
I mean, he wasn't very recognizable, quite honestly.
No, this was one of the harder ones because obviously it doesn't look anything like him.
Yeah.
I mean, other than long hair part in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for adding that extra 5 pounds to the bike. That'll help.
Yeah.
There's Luna's resting bitch face. He always looks like he's mad at me, but I'm used to it by now.
Little Lord of the Rings now there.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to say they did a really good job of making these things extra creepy.
Yeah. The horror in this show is really dialed up. Like really, really dialed up.
She said she can't.
So he switched to a crossbow for a second there. He did it before. Jared apparently in campaign 1 heavily used crossbows, and that was their little nod for that, was having him pick up a crossbow in this, even though he's using a sword now.
Well, he picked up the crossbow and then gave it to Vex.
Yeah, but that was the little nod for it.
Trigger joke.
Yeah. Oh, I did write it down. It was Blind Spot. The TV show Blind Spot was what Ashley Johnson was filming when they were doing this originally. Past Tom was prepared. Current Tom forgot where I wrote it down, though. Looks like some Dragon Ball Z fighting there for a second.
Mm.
Oh, I love Grog. And Percy. Sometimes you just gotta bash things to death. And that's what a barbarian is for. And rip its head off, barehanded.
Yeah. Nice job, Keyleth.
Oh, yeah. Very well done.
You all look like crap.
Oh, yeah. They need a long rest, for sure.
And a bath.
Mm-hmm. What is that goo? Doesn't look like ectoplasm I've ever seen before.
I think
it's their blood.
Yeah.
It always,
It's black, though.
When the creatures hit them, it comes out of their eyes and it's coming out of them. So.
But yeah, no, it's.
I didn't think it was blood. I thought it was just specter goo.
I don't know. I need to see it in better lighting.
Yeah. Good luck. I had to brighten up a lot of pictures for out of this show.
Yeah.
Pretty much this whole episode, every picture, every still that I took, I had to brighten up.
Yeah, it's a very shadowy.
Yeah. I think this is such a great way for them to, when you think about it, if you think about it in terms of D&D, a way to have a specific player character focused campaign that doesn't just ignore the other player characters. They're all just as involved and has just as much stake in it as everybody else.
Well, they did a really good job when they were creating the characters of meshing their backgrounds, right?
Yeah. Oh, also Matt Mercer does the voice of Trinket the bear.
Yeah.
He apparently Eugene was very excited when they did this show. Like he loved recording it, and they had a ton of fun with him. And several of the voice of the cast are friends with him in real life, and that's how he got into it.
Right. What?
This is it. This is the part with Grog that specifically Eugene Bird. I knew it. It was in there. Ooh, Easter egg. Oh, this is so precious. She's so small compared to him. Look at that hand on his head. Ah,
It's like the size of his nose.
Very
I
small.
know. I love the acting in this so much, and the way they show all of their like emotionality. Like everybody is so good.
Yeah. Yeah, I really enjoyed this a lot.
Yeah. I was not, honestly, I'll be honest, I was not expecting to enjoy it as much as I am. Like, I legitimately very much enjoy this show.
Yep. Yeah, no, I can't wait for the next season.
Me too. Oh,
4?
Yes. I mean, season 4.
yes.
I'm talking about the next season from.
No. Season 4. I can't wait for season 4.
So I closed the watch party. It may not end for those of you who are sitting in it. So like if you are still sitting in the watch party, it may continue playing for you guys, but I closed it. So feel free to watch the next episode if you want, but we aren't watching it right now. We will be watching it next week, and you'll find out with who in a few minutes.
You will be watching it next week.
That's true. We, as in Dragonmount.
We might be watching this with them next week.
That's
True.
fair.
What was the Easter egg?
Oh yeah, what was the Easter egg? Because I missed it, Carrie. I am not as, I will freely admit, I am not as prolific with the live play as I am with really pretty much anything else that we've watched so far. Okay. I do very much so enjoy watching this, specifically this one with Mercer and all of the people. I love Brennan Lee Mulligan, and as much as I love Brennan Lee Mulligan in Dimension 20, I still haven't watched like the Dimension 20 live play. I like watch Brennan Lee Mulligan in other stuff.
He's fantastic. And if you do want to only watch one thing, like 1, 3, 4, however many episodes it was, watch Calamity, EXU Calamity.
Which one? EXU Calamity? Okay.
Or actually the new one, EXU Downfall.
Downfall. Okay. All right.
Actually, well, they're both really good.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not surprised. I mean, just the clips that I see on TikTok and like the show of the live plays that they do, especially the one that they did with all drag queens. I want to watch that one really.
Yeah. That was good.
But the the shows, if you subscribe to Dropout TV, you get to watch all the ex College Humor kind of skit shows that they do, especially the game shows that they do, which are a ton of freaking fun. And anytime Brennan's on, it's just gold, because it's really just the entire everyone on the show, the hosts and the other contestants, trying to mess with him, which is great and apparently very easy to do.
We were actually talking about this on Discord because there's a picture of Game Changer, and it's Brandon Lou Wilson and Siobhan Thompson standing behind the podiums, and Sam Reich is in front going. And somebody captioned it with like, when your GM successfully destroys all your characters or something like that. And I jokingly said that it should be Brendan in front for that, except that the whole thing about Game Changer is messing with Brendan, giving him the angst he normally gives everyone else.
Yeah. My favorite thing that they did with him is one of his little hidden talents or enjoyments that he has is he's like bird into birds. And they had Game Changer is, for those who don't know, 3 contestants and the host. The host is Sam Reich. He's hilarious. Is a different game every single time they play it, and the contestants don't know the game beforehand, so they change. It's always just a random wacky game. And one of the ones that Brennan was on, they just pulled up a picture of a bird and were like, "Name that bird." And for Brennan, they kept giving him. They were telling him he was incorrect because they wanted like a hyper specific like thing for him, or they would just pick some other random
super obscure birds,
right?
Like one person would get like a pigeon.
Yeah.
One person would get a crow. Brennan would get the red-breasted wood tit from 1 square mile of England, right?
Yeah. And they would accept the other contestants' pigeon and not like domestic common pigeon found in the like, and they accepted. One person was like rooster chicken hen, and they were like, chicken, you're right. And Brennan's reaction to that was just hilarious. He was like, I see what you're doing here. I hope you're proud of yourself. And it was really freaking funny. Just watching him lose his mind is great.
Okay.
As Percy comes down the stairs, he passes by a jar with blue poop in it. In the campaign, Scanlon and Gilmore craft him a scrying potion out of that. Oh, okay, that's funny. That's funny.
Yeah, so in the campaign, Gilmore gives him a scroll with 3 uses of scry on poop. And so he poops in various places and then can scry on it later. And one of them is he leaves a jar of it in the kitchen at their castle, which doesn't get named in the TV show because it's Grayskull Keep and that's copyrighted.
Yeah, they can't say that, yeah.
No.
But in the campaign, it was.
And there it was, right at their castle. So perfect. That's funny. All right. So I'm excited because this is the first time I've had Jenn back since we've started our little end of show things that we do. For anyone here, I do see a lot of new faces out there who haven't been here. In our prior rewatches, I always have a guest every week, and we would talk to the guest in the beginning like we did this time, and we would showcase some of their stuff. But at the end of the show, I always felt like, like, especially if it was someone that people didn't know or like wasn't part of the community in any way, a way to throw it back to them. And I am a huge fan of Inside the Actor Studio, which is, if you've never heard of it, look it up. Fantastic. There's clips all over YouTube. It was on for like 20 years.
Still is, I think. Isn't it?
No, he passed away.
Well, right, but somebody else took over.
Did they? Oh, okay.
I thought.
Listen, James Lipton is the only host of Inside the Actor Studio for me. That's all I can do. If you want to see really, yeah, that's fair. If you want to see some amazing stuff, just look up Inside the Actor Studio, Robin Williams. He was on that show like 4 or 5 times, and every single one of them was gold. And apparently the show ran for an hour when they would do a lot, like when they would put it on television. Robin Williams episodes were always 2 hours, and they always had like 5 hours of film because that's Robin Williams and he's out of his mind. So if you want to see some fun things, go check that out. But at the end of those shows, they would always throw the same 10 questions at their guests. So with that in mind, I was like, I want to do that too. So I just blatantly stole his questions. And I only used the same original, like some of the questions are, only 4 of them are like, I blatantly stole them because they're just generic, simple questions. The other ones I just took the theme of and kind of rethemed. I think you'll be able to pick them out, which ones are which. Anyway.
All right.
Before we get started, I am a consummate professional, as most people would say about me. I think. So make sure if you've enjoyed yourself to press the little subscribe button and the like button and then the share button and tell people about us and like come back next week when we watch our next episode. But
so we allowed to reference other people's YouTube channels for a joke?
Absolutely.
So there's a film student reactor who has red hair and she always goes, "Redder is better." So push the red like button. Well, Jen's hair is red, so.
Who? What person is that?
Oh, you can ask me that kind of question.
I put you on the spot now.
Yeah, don't. If you've already pressed it, you don't need to press it again. You're good. You're good. Just leave that.
I appreciate you guys. Anyway, here we go. You like that? That was good, right?
Yeah, that was great.
I'm so good at my job. No, that's a lie. Okay, so here we go. We like to hit hard here with our first question at Dragonmount. If anyone has seen our Rafe Judkins, showrunner, lead writer of the Wheel of Time TV show on Amazon interview, you'll know we go hard right for the throat right off the bat. So with that being said, what is your favorite dinosaur?
Allosaur.
Ah, that was fast. Allosaur. Okay.
I mean, I've actually been asked this question before.
That's great.
And they also said, "Wow, that was fast." I'm like, I have taken the time to think about this. It's important.
The reason why we did it was because like you always hear that meme of no one asks me what my favorite dinosaur is anymore, and I love it.
Yep.
Mine, I know it should be the Allosaur. Can't shake my childhood toy love of the Triceratops.
Triceratops is valid. There's nothing wrong with Triceratops.
That's fair. So, fun fact also, wow, the name left my head for a second. Guy Roberts, who plays Uno in the Wheel of Time adaptation, also his favorite dinosaur is Triceratops. And if you want to see that interview that I did with him, you can also go check on the YouTube, on the Dragonmount YouTube in the videos that we have saved. So you should do that because, that'll give us movement on that. Anyway, the next question I have is, what is your favorite word? And we'll start with Mike this time.
Onomatopoeia.
I do like that word a lot too.
All right.
I both like it for the flow and just because it's a hilarious meaning. So
yeah,
I got to go with insouciant.
Insouciant. Okay.
Insouciant.
That one you have to define for me. That one, sadly, I am not.
Oh, that is carefree and
but in a saucy sort
in a saucy way. Yeah.
Okay.
It's insouciant.
Because
worry-free is a thing we could all stand to be right around now.
That's fair. I hope so. Again, vote.gov. Make sure to go have a plan. And please don't curse us with an orange monster again. Anyway, because I can't go 24 hours without a West Wing reference, there's an exchange between a Russian diplomat and one of the cast on the show. And the Russian diplomat doesn't understand a word that he uses. He says frumpy, but he says onomatopoetically, it makes sense. So I always try to use onomatopoetically as a word. I've used it like 3 times since I've heard it whenever that was 20 years ago.
So not really that common or that often.
No. It's hard, especially onomatopoetically. Like you could say onomatopoeia, but onomatopoetically, that's hard. And yes, please feel free.
Onomatopoetically.
The next question, what is your least favorite word, Jen?
Well, in honor of the occasion, I'm going to go with Nazi.
That is entirely fair. I do.
Although I do really like the origin of the word.
Okay.
because it doesn't
me.
actually come from National Socialists the way everyone thinks it does.
Okay.
It actually derives from slang that was common at the time. Nazis actually didn't like being called Nazis. They hated it because it was like calling somebody a rube or a Joe Bob, or it basically was slang from Ignatz, which was short for, long story short, it meant foolish, kind of backwards hick.
Okay.
That was the meaning of the slang for Nazi. And so calling them that was actually not flattering at all.
I mean, still
And they
not
hated-
flattering, but for a different reason now.
For a different reason. Yeah. But no, they didn't call themselves that, and they hated it. So
It's good to know that it continues to live on, that they hate. Like I hate that it continues to live on, but I
Yes,
know it
yes.
makes me feel a little bit better about it knowing that they hated it.
I still hate the word. I hate that it's still part of our vocabulary, but
And
there we go on
our
that.
And that they're-
planet.
yeah, our political system.
Yeah. And what
I honestly really thought about doing Nazi. I'm sure how political you wanted to get on the show. So instead,
I mean, I've never hid my politics. We support trans people. We support women's right to choose. We support Black Lives Matter. We support. Oh, yeah, there you go. We've never. I don't shy away from it because I believe even as small as my platform is, I will use it for. I will end my privilege. I will use it for good.
Much appreciated.
But anyway, what's your least favorite word?
oh, I actually said it.
Oh,
Cordyceps.
cordyceps.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And that one I know.
Okay.
That is
Okay, yeah.
mushrooms or fungus.
It's specifically
It's a
like the
specific
fungus that turns you into like a zombie.
A zombie, yeah. And those do, like, so they use that in the Last of Us video game TV show. But those really exist. Don't Google it if you want to, ever sleep again. But if you're okay with that kind of stuff, Google it. It doesn't exist for humans yet.
Yeah.
That is literally the storyline of The Last of Us, but that it makes the jump to humans. But it does exist for the insect.
Yeah.
And
Specifically ants.
Yep,
And it's
ants, grasshoppers.
absolutely nightmare fuel.
Oh yeah, the way it looks, what it does, it's horrible.
All of it. It's the worst.
Okay.
And a very popular. Anyway, I'm not going to get into it.
What is an everyday sound that you enjoy?
Music, especially hard rock, heavy metal.
Okay.
My jam, but music.
Are you listening to any specific band in particular at the moment?
Oh gosh, a lot of them. I mean, I think my current top 3 are probably Linkin Park, just because they're freaking back.
Yeah.
But about Spirit Box and Electric Callboy.
Okay. And how about you, Jen? What is an everyday sound that you enjoy?
Cat purr.
Oh yeah.
Cat purr. Yeah,
I
Tom's
also-
video
Yeah,
is
yes.
frozen.
I am? Oh,
Yep.
Okay, I see.
I wasn't sure it was just me, but
Is it?
even Aaron seeing it, then yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could fix that.
Okay.
You'll still be able to hear me, but I'm gone. You can still hear me though.
Okay.
Tom's like,
It's-
ghost.
It's crazy. What's happening?
He's like one of the creatures from the episode we just watched.
I know cat purrs. Cat purrs.
And I'm back. And Luna's in the spot that he belongs in, which is first now. So we're
Yes.
good.
Number 1 position. You're a very blurry though.
I am?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Oh, there it
the
is.
camera will focus. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, it'll focus eventually. All right. And then on that same vein, what is an everyday sound that you don't enjoy?
Cat yowling.
Oh yeah.
Just the follow up on that one.
No, that's
I
The
would
song
go
of their
with my-
people. Sorry.
I would go with my antisocial thing and say my doorbell ringing.
that's entirely fair.
Yeah.
Oh God. I always try to be nice to the Jehovah's Witnesses and the Mormons when they come, because like I know that the real reason they send them door to door is to just drive home the idea that the only place that they'll find people that are nice to them are amongst their own people, and everyone else is going to be mean. But it's hard. It's hard.
So there was an online webcomic back in the late 90s, early 2000s called Phlegm Comics.
Mhm.
And they had an ongoing storyline of this guy moves from California to Texas and finds out that they have a Mormon season in Texas where you're allowed to shoot Mormons.
No,
but he
that's
accidentally
not.
shoots a Jehovah's Witness.
That's just no,
You know.
It's terrible.
and not in the lens of our world, modern world, not funny anymore. So,
Very true.
you know, gun violence being what it is, just
Yeah.
like I remember that when that came out, I remember laughing at it. I'm not sure I would laugh now.
That's fair. I mean, there's a lot of old shows that don't hold up, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff that particular comic that I do still find funny, but that's not one of them.
Fair enough. Okay, so now those, other than the dinosaur one, were I think obviously the questions that I stole directly from James Lipton, but I do give Inside the Actor Studio and James as much props as I possibly can, because I do love that show a lot. Oh, and this is my semi-regular shout out to, if anyone ever sees the DVDs for those, like in a thrift store or something, hook a brother up, because they are impossible to find and they are super expensive on eBay, and I am not paying like $4.99 an episode on Amazon. So please just hook a brother up. I will send you money, or, you know, fun Wheel of Time swag that I have sitting around if you're into that kind of thing.
Right.
All right. So the next one asks questions based off of just any property you want. They doesn't need to be specifically a science fiction series, doesn't need to be specifically a fantasy series, a book, or anything. Could be a TV show, could be a video game, could be anything you want. So in general, what science fiction or fantasy character would make a good partner or spouse? And if you want to answer why, you can.
If you want, I'll go first.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, please.
Vale of Remba from the Chronicles of Banter series.
Okay.
She's forced into a political marriage with another character named Random, and ends up not only genuinely falling in love with him, but being an absolutely equal partner to him, making him a better person, and making him the only reason, or she's the only reason that he gets picked to be the king later on.
I mean, I am terrible with these kinds of questions because, I mean, amongst everything, like there's a lot of characters I like. There's tons of them out there that I like. You know, I get crushes on characters all the time.
But it doesn't have to be specifically for you. This doesn't have to be for you.
No. I know. But that's my point, is that there's plenty of characters out there that I think, God, these guys are great. You know,
that's fair. It
doesn't have to be for me necessarily. It's just that, you know, there's just a ton out there. I mean, I was laughing about this the other day. I think that I thought it was hilarious that the so far the most husband material person that I have character that I've come across in the Star Wars universe is probably the stranger from the Acolyte. because I mean, look at him, like asking her opinion on things and listening to her and like listening. You know, like being there for her, and I was just like, wow, okay.
And it's Manny
Jacinto. But you know, so I mean, there's a lot out there. You know, amongst my own books and my own characters, I'm going to have to go with Derbyshire.
Okay.
I think he is strong husband material.
And for just those who have not read the series, what kind of character is Derbyshire?
Oh, he's a wizard who is nerd. Yeah, he's a total nerd. He's an absolute total nerd.
As most wizards are.
Yeah.
Both the player characters and the characters.
More so than most, yeah.
That's fair.
You know, he also is strangely capable at very complicated construction projects when drugged. So, you know, good handy around the house.
Oh, thank you for noticing, Rapunzel. Yes. For those who don't know Wheel of Time, that just means he's very special in the Wheel of Time. It's like an honorific for like royalty, which he definitely deserves. Okay, and then what fantasy or science fiction character do you think would make the worst partner or spouse?
I mean, we were just talking Star Wars.
I mean,
Anakin's right there.
Oh God, yeah, you're not wrong.
Actively killed his wife. I mean,
Yep.
you know, not great, not great at all.
Yep.
Not purposefully, but still, you know, not great.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's tons. There's tons.
I mean,
that, you know, that's
like 60%
a huge,
of the main cast of Star Wars, except Chewie. Chewie's pretty good.
Yeah, Chewie's good. Chewie's good. I mean, yeah,
Anakin's a good actor.
there's tons out there. But we'll go with Anakin for now.
Yeah, I mean,
just
Anakin
know
is a
that
good
it's out of a field of thousands.
Oh yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. Anakin is a good character for sure. All right, what about you, Mike?
I will go with Sauron because his wife would be the Lady of the Rings, and we all know that he does not share.
I'm so glad we got a pun.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's fair.
That was good.
That's fair.
All right. Now this is specifically targeted at you guys. So this is supposed to be like, you know, I know if you can name one now, but like, you know, growing up, can you recall a character from science fiction or fantasy, cartoon, video game, comic book, whatever, that you guys had a crush on?
Oh.
How long do you have?
So many. The ones that I find most cringy now, though,
Yeah.
probably on top of that list is when I was a teenager, I thought Wasteland was pretty hot shit. And he's on that. Really, yeah, it's super cringy. He's on that list. Terrible husbands. Terrible husbands. Yeah, he's totally on that list.
Fair.
Oof. Yeah, this is why you shouldn't let teenagers like make long-term decisions about relationships. It's not a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I remind everyone all the time, Romeo and Juliet was a tragedy and not a love story.
Yeah.
It's a tragedy that took place over a weekend. 7 people died and she was 13.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, Penny.
It's like the worst.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yay, what's up, Penny? Oh, for Mike and Jen, just in case you don't know, you guys have and anyone here who has frequented JordanCon will probably recognize both Mike and Jen, who has been guests at JordanCon numerous times.
Actually,
But you've been with me.
Yeah,
I've been hanging out with Jennifer, but I've never been a guest at JordanCon.
That's right.
You've been on panels though, haven't you? No? Okay.
No, multiverse.
That is their loss.
Multiverse and Conjuration, but not JordanCon.
Okay.
Yep.
And I just was at Multiverse. We did a whole show on that. You should check it out. If you don't know Multiverse Con, check it out. Anyway, Penny the Watt Cake Lady, if you guys happen to wander into the auction, the charity auction, she donates a cake every year that it's usually decorated to the nines.
Oh yeah, we
usually.
that.
Yep, and those are her cakes. Those are pretty fantastic, and they taste amazing. Dragonmount bought last year's one, and it was one of the best cakes I've ever eaten. Sorry, Aaron, yours are also great, but it was fantastic.
We'll just have to take your word for that.
Yeah.
Let's see my crushes. Fiona Amber, Lady from the Black Company, Raider Lead from the Riddlemaster books, Leia of Alderaan, several of my own characters, Shaloran, Vitalis.
Oh, Leia's on Princess Leia's on my list too, but she's not
yeah.
cringy. She's not
Evangeline
cringy.
from Les Mis, specifically the musical, not the book.
Okay.
From the book is awful.
Well, you deserve it because your cakes are amazing.
Yeah.
The Leia, I love. By the way, I loved all of the Obi-Wan show, but little Leia was amazing. That kid, first of all, amazing actor. But the writing for her was great, and I love seeing like little early Leia-ness in her. It was a lot of
Yeah,
fun.
you totally bought that she was little Leia because she was
100%.
just such a precocious little brat. It was beautiful.
You can
Yeah.
see her staring up at Vader and going,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Totally.
So next question is,
Okay.
if you had the opportunity to assume a job, a vocation, or like join a group from any form of fiction, what would you want to join? And I guess we'll throw it at Mike first.
do I have to stay with the group?
You're going to join the group. I like your path amongst the group is a panel for another time.
Okay. That I would join the 10 who were taken before they got entombed and then immediately leave.
Okay.
An immortal god tier wizard.
Alright.
Or Jedi. I mean,
Or Jedi.
Who doesn't want to be a space wizard?
That's
Right.
fair.
I mean, you know, so here's the thing, right? As an author, we don't make these places nice for a reason. we make these places unpleasant purposefully because a better story results that way. So I would be really, really hard pressed to find a location that I mean, like maybe, I mean, some of the things maybe Diana Wynne Jones wrote might be okay.
well, there's vocation or job.
Yeah. Vocation or job.
That's a good choice,
Yeah.
Glenn.
Actually, that's a terrible choice. Because,
Starfleet science officer?
Yes, because stupid piece of nerdy trivia incoming. The joke
Ooh.
about red shirts is wrong. You are statistically most likely to die if you were a blue shirt, if you're a science officer. As a percentage of the member of the crew who is in that division, science officers die the most often. It's just
Interesting.
that everyone was a red shirt.
That's fair.
Yes, cold shirts were the best. Cold shirts hardly ever died.
That's true.
Yeah, I don't know that I have a super good answer for that.
Okay.
Although again, maybe a Diana Wynne Jones thing.
All right.
Yeah, that's
And
fair.
then-
If I could be one of the farmers in Archer's goon. Technically,
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the opposite of that, is there maybe not that you wouldn't want to be a part of, but just one that you just think is like bad or the worst. It doesn't even have to be evil, just like not fun vocation in any form of fiction or fantasy.
I mean, there's a lot. I have to say I wouldn't particularly want to be a officer on board the Executor at
Oh God.
past A New Hope. That's a bad idea.
That's
That's bad.
Or a member of the janitorial staff on the Death Star.
Right. Yeah. No. Mm-mm.
Having to deal with those creatures. For me, I gotta say the Bring Out Your Dead guy from Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Or you know what? Honestly, part of the 10 that were taken after.
Yeah.
There you
Howler.
go.
I don't want to be Howler. Or,
Good callback. Good callback.
I would also say the guy who had to clean up the body of, the field of bodies that Adjutant Lorne and Gados Perron formed in Returns of the Moon.
Oof. Yeah. Yuck.
It's-
Could you imagine having to? I mean, like we got to see it a little bit in some of the kaiju movies, but cleaning up after like a kaiju fight, the
Oh.
dead kaijus, that would not be fun.
Oh God, Pacific Rim is like the toxic poop.
Yeah. Those were some. I
Nope.
loved the first
Nope.
Pacific Rim,
Yeah.
and not
Uh,
just because Idris Elba was in it,
although
but
that's
that
good
was
reason.
a selling point. It was a
Yeah.
good selling point. Yeah. Okay, and then our only actual like deep-ish question, which is, is there any specific form of the afterlife that has appeared in science fiction or fantasy that you would hope to be true when it is your time?
I mean, that's an awkward question.
It is. The original question, by the way, what do you want St. Peter to say to you at the pearly gates? So
Yeah. No.
I took the religion out of it.
Yeah. Well, you kind of took the religion out of it.
Yeah.
You opened it up, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
gonna go with the old guard.
Okay.
Being immortal.
Just being immortal.
That is a choice. That is a choice.
I think that's the one I would prefer. I was gonna say Highlander, but then you get the whole everybody's trying to kill each other thing, and
Yeah.
the old guard was more like team oriented. So
Yeah.
I'll go with that one.
Loved that movie, by the way.
Oh, that's great.
Great
Yeah.
movie.
Charlize Theron was amazing, and I hope I really just want to watch her in that role. Just
They were supposed to be making a sequel.
they made it 2. They did make it 2. I want to just
It's
watch.
filmed, it just hasn't been released yet.
Yeah.
I want to just
There
watch
was
it
something
though,
about
forever.
like the writer's strike and everything. Kind of pushed
Yeah.
For Afterlife,
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the second world from Jenn's A Chorus of Dragons series as it exists at the end of the series.
Okay. And
Yeah, that's fair.
If
That's
it's not if it's not a spoiler, can you regale us?
Reincarnation is a thing, and the god of death is pretty hoopy by that point.
And the way that it works in my series is that the world is twinned. So you have the world of the living and the world of the dead, and they exist in tandem to each other. And when you die, you go to the land of the dead, and after a certain period of time, you reincarnate back into the land of the living, and it's supposed to be a cycle. But the land of the dead is another place where you exist. It's not any less valid of an existence as the people that exist in the land of the living. It's just another form,
It's just having a winter home and a summer home. And
Yeah.
Now, I will say for a psychopomp character,
Oh,
I want Jinya's Loving Reaper from the comics.
Yeah, all right.
And if we're going to take religion out of it entirely, then I want to be beamed into the ring system around the world from Lord of Light like Sam was.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
cool. And just for while we're still near the topic, if anyone liked that little snippet from Jenn's book, please go and check it out at the link that I just posted in chat. Or if you're watching this back later, in the YouTube description of this video.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. And the only other thing that we have to do is share who's going to be hanging out with us next week. And let's see who that's going to be. We have...
Is it going to be Luna?
Luna's always... Well, not always. He's here when he deems is necessary.
I feel flattered that he graced us with his presence tonight.
He's not always here, as people can attest, and sometimes he doesn't want any of my shit, or my talking annoys him too much, so he doesn't, hang out. But next week is my sister from another mister, Beth Doman, who is, for people in the Wheel of Time community, you'll recognize her from all of the guesting that she does on all of her shows, but her shtick is that she is a streamer. She plays video games. She streams herself playing video games currently. She's playing Dragon Age the Veilguard and Overwatch 2, which is kind of a love-hate relationship for her, which is not really surprising because it is a Blizzard game, and that's mostly love-hate with everything. But her link tree I'm going to post in chat. For some reason, my copy and paste didn't want to work there for a second. Yay! Yes, we are very happy. We love Beth. She is my sister from another mister, and we will have her. Oh, Skeeter! I didn't even see you pop in. What's up, buddy? But we will be hanging out with her next week, and we will be watching episodes 5 and 6, and hopefully, we'll have a Crystal here as well.
That is I didn't even think about that. That is the weird 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon between me and this show, right? So one of the narrators for my books is Fyodor Chen, who plays one of the characters on Overwatch.
Oh.
Zenyatta?
Zenyatta. Okay. That's awesome.
And then, Matt plays another character, does the voice of another character on Overwatch, and, so
and actually, there's, I had it pulled up. Darren DePaul, who is another prolific voice actor, whom I actually met at a Star Wars The Old Republic Cantina event, which was a lot of fun. He was really he was actually Valkorion, the Emperor of the Sith Empire.
I'm sure he was a bunch of just incidental Sith.
Oh yeah, he surprisingly, so like where what's her name? Wow, it's gone. Gray, Teresa Gray. Gray Griffin, who has had like 800 voice acting roles. I went and looked at Darren DePaul because I knew he was also in The Old Republic, and I was like, oh, he's got to have 800 too. Only like 200, which is still a lot. Don't get me wrong, still a lot. So, not as prolific as her, but yeah. Also, he plays for those. The reason why I brought it up, he plays Reinhardt from Overwatch. Also,
right.
Did you guys see the Critical Role one shot where they played Dune? Doom.
No.
Sorry,
no.
Doom.
Like the video game Doom?
Yeah. But an RPG version of it.
Yeah.
Darren played just an amazing fucking character as a guest.
Not surprising.
So very cool. Very cool. I'll have to check that out. I haven't seen it.
He was also really, really nice. Like it was a really small gathering and they just hung out pretty much all night. He was giving people like tips on how to get into the voice acting world and stuff. And like, I live in New York, but that's only because, I'm already established. You got it. If you want to get into it, you got to move to California, blah, blah. And this was at the time. This was like 10 years ago. So.
Yeah.
Really nice guy though. He was recording people's outgoing voicemail messages, but I didn't want to make him, I always feel bad like going up to like actors or anyone like that and being like, perform for me. So I never do that. I never, ever do it.
Well, yeah.
But it would have been awesome.
It would have been, yeah. He was like, yes, I'll do whatever characters you want. Reinhardt, Valkorion, I'll say whatever you want. And he was cursing and he was like, I don't give a shit. He's like, let LucasArts get mad at me. I don't care.
Okay, Darren, could you play, hold on, it's high concept. I want you to play Morgan Freeman saying titty sprinkles.
Please, chat, get this out to Darren DePaul. I want to make this happen. I want to make that happen. That would be hilarious.
Oh my god. Okay.
He was a good sport. I feel like he might do it.
Maybe
or as much as he can. I don't know if he can do. Yeah. I don't think he can do a good Morgan Freeman.
All right. Well, and then so like I like to make fun of our dear friends over at the Dusty Wheel. They talk about smashing the black, but we actually do. Peace.